Let us now take the third model from the topic of classification, where we shall look at questions based on finding out the odd letter or the odd group of letters. Let's look at the questions first. So as you can see, the question says choose the odd letter or the odd group of letters. So here we have 5 examples where we see all the questions are based on letters. Let's look at example 1. Now the letters given here are I, U, K, O, E. So there are 5 different letters and we are required to choose the odd one. Now this really is a simple one to start with. I, U, K, O, E. We know that K should be the odd one. Reason being, K is the only consonant of the given group of letters, right? Remaining letters I, U, O and E are all vowels. So based on the classification here of vowels and consonants, we can say K is the odd one. Let's look at second example. Now here we see that we have got pairs of letters D, W, H, S, M, N, G, T, K, O. Now remember friends that most of the times the classification of letters can be done based on the positions of these letters as per the English alphabet, right? So let's try to work on the positions of these given pairs of letters and see if that helps us in finding out the odd one, right? Now we know that D is the 4th letter, W is 23rd letter of the English alphabet, right? Then HS will be 8 and 19, MN is 13, 14, GT is 7, 20, KO is 11 and 15, right? So we have just marked the positions of these letters as per the English alphabet there, right? Now see if these positions helps us in finding out the odd one, alright? So 4, 23, okay, 8, 19, 13, 14, 7, 20, 11 and 15. Now if you observe and try to find out the sum of these positions, you will find the odd one easily. For example, look at 4 and 23. 4 plus 23 is 27. So sum of these positions is 27 here. 8 plus 19 is also 27. 13 plus 14 is 27 again, right? 7 and 20 is 27. But 11 and 15 is 26. So clearly we see that in the first 4 pairs of letters, the sum of the positions of these letters is 27, whereas in the 5th one it is just 26. Hence we can say this 5th pair of letters K and O is the odd one. Alright, so the logic here is based on the sum of the positions of these letters. Alright, but remember this is just one way of looking at the question. The other way of answering this question would be as follows. If you look at the letters D and W, these are the letters which come in the same position as per the alphabetical and the reverse alphabetical order. That is, if you look at D, this is the 4th letter as per the alphabetical order, whereas W is the 4th letter as per the reverse alphabetical order, right? Z, Y, X and W. So the logic here can also be taken as the letters being in the same numerical position from the alphabetical and the reverse alphabetical order. Same applies to the remaining pairs as well, H and S. H is the 8th letter from the forward direction, and S is the 19th letter in the forward direction, but it comes out to be 8 in the backward direction there. So the logic is that these letters, the DW, HS, MN and GT come in the same position, same numerical position when taken in the forward and the reverse direction respectively, right? So even that logic will lead us to the same answer, K and O, right? So the point is there are a variety of reasons for choosing the odd one, but as I said, most of the times when it comes to this choosing odd letter or odd pairs of letters or odd group of letters, the logic is based on positions, right? Not always, but most of the times, right? Look at example 3. D, E, B, H, I, F, N, O, L, R, T, P, U, V, S. So all we need to do is just start working on their numerical positions or the way they appear in the English alphabet to get the odd one, right? So what do you find common in these group of letters? D, E, B, H, I, F, N, O, L, R, T, P and U, V, S. I think if you look at D and E, let's not worry about the last letter here. Let's only observe the first 2 letters. Let's see if that helps us in any way. D, E are consecutive letters. D, E. H, I is consecutive. N, O, right? M, N, O. N and O are consecutive letters. R and T are S, T R and T are not consecutive, right? So far we find that the first two letters of the first three options are consecutive, but the first two letters of the fourth option R, T are not consecutive. Let's look at the next one. UV. Yes, UV is also consecutive. U, V, W and so on, right? So maybe this is the logic there, and we can mark RTP as the odd one, right? So the odd group of letters here is RTP. Remaining all have got the first two letters in the consecutive position. Now some of you may wonder that why are we not considering the third letter? Now the point here is when we are able to find out the odd one based on a certain logic using some of the letters, we need not worry about the remaining letters there. However, if we verify, we'll find out that yes, the odd one would actually be RTP. Let's look at it. D, E, B. Now try to relate B with the remaining letters or somehow connect B with either D or E. What do you see? I think if you look at it, B and D, these are alternate letters. So D, C, D or B, C, D. So B and D are alternate. So we are trying to understand here in a way that the first letter and the last letter are alternate letters. Likewise, H and F are alternate, right? 8 and F is 6. So alternate, right? Or 6 to 8, 6, 7, 8. So F, G, H. So even that applies to second option. Look at third option, L, M, N. Again L and N are alternate, or by positions if you go, this is 14 and 12. So alternate, right? Alternate in the reverse direction. R, T, P. R and P. So 18 and 16, yes, alternate, right? So that logic satisfies in option 4 as well, right? Let's look at option 5, U, S. So U is 21, S is 19, or if you just read out the English alphabet starting from S, S, T, U. So yes, these are alternate. So we find that this third letter is alternate to the first letter, right? Or first and third are alternate letters as per the English alphabet in all the 5 options. But what is not there in fourth option is the relationship in the first two letters, right? What did we see? The first two letters are consecutive in the remaining 4 options except option number 4. Hence option 4 is the odd one. So this way you have to establish the relationship between the given letters there, mostly as per the English alphabet or their positions as per the English alphabet, right? In rare cases we find that there is a very typical logic through which we will find out the odd one, right? But as I said, most of the times it is based on the positions of the letters. So we need not always try to verify with respect to all the letters. As in this case we have seen just 2 letters helps us to find out the odd one. So that is sufficient for us to mark the answer. Let's look at example 4. Now the letters here are, we have got 4 letters in each group, right? A, E, G, C, H, L, N, J, O, S, V, Q, R, V, X, T, M, Q, S, O. So let's see what is common here. If you observe A, C, let's look at the first letter and the last letter. A, C are alternate A, B, C, right? H, I, J, okay. O, P, Q, alright. R, S, T, okay, even here it satisfies. M, N, O, alright. So this logic is throughout the given options there, right? It satisfies in all the 5 answer options, right? A, C is alternate, that is the first letter and the last letter. Then H, J, first letter and last letter of the second group is also alternate letters. H is 8, J is 10. So H, I, J. Then O, P, Q, R, S, T, M, N, O. So this does not help us in marking the odd one. Now let us try and connect the 2 letters in between the first and the last one there, right? Maybe that will help us to find out the odd one. Even if that does not help, then we'll have to look for some other logic. Now E, G, what do you see? E, G, E, F, G, right? So E, F, G are also alternate. E, F, G. L, M, N, right? These are alternate letters. S, T, U, but here we have S, V. So had it been S, U, S, U are alternate, but here we have S, V. So this does not satisfy in third option here. But let's verify for the remaining ones, right? So VX, V, W, X, right? V is 22 and X is 24, right? So even these are alternate, right? V, W, X. Then the last option here, QS, QRS, QRS 17, 19. So even here it satisfies. So we find that when we go by the first and the last one, we find that these are all alternate letters in all the answer options. Then we verify the middle 2 letters. So we find alternate in first one, second one, fourth one and fifth one, whereas in option 3 the middle 2 letters are not in alternate position. that logic of positioning of the letters as per the English alphabet is common in first, second, fourth and fifth, but not in option number 3. So we can say OSVQ is the odd one here, right? So the group of letters OSVQ is the odd one, right? So this is how you just need to find out some logic based on their positions as per the English alphabet to find out the odd one. Let's now work on the last example here, example 5. Again, each option has got 4 letters. Okay, so D, E, C, B, G, D, F, E, H, K, I, J, J, F, H, G, Q, S, P, R. So how do we establish the common property in the given groups here? I think look at this. B, C are consecutive, right? E, F consecutive. J, I are not consecutive. J, I are actually consecutive, but in the reverse direction, right? Here we have B, C, E, F. So had it been I, J, it would have been okay, but here we have J, I. However, let's look at next one. G, H. Yes, even this is consecutive. E, F, G, H, right? Consecutive. R, P again, it's not consecutive. R and P are not consecutive at all, right? R and P are alternate. So this logic of trying the last 2 letters has failed here, right? B, C is consecutive, E, F is consecutive, G, H is also consecutive, J, I is consecutive, but then that's in a reverse direction when compared to the first, second and fourth option. And however, in fifth option we find that the last 2 letters are not consecutive, they are alternate. So this logic will not help us mark the answer. Now some of you may say that option 5 should be the answer because here also these are consecutive. I, J is consecutive, right? So consecutive, consecutive, consecutive and consecutive here, but here it is not. But then understand that in first, second and fourth options they are consecutive in one direction, in third option it is consecutive in the other direction. So we'll better verify and see if it is really the correct answer or we have to go for some other logic. What can be done? DE is okay, DE, GD, HK, JF, QS, these are not helping us to mark the answer. Now let me directly give you the right answer here instead of thinking too much. As I said, examination point of view, in this time, in 20-30 seconds, if you're not able to crack it, just skip and move to the next one, right? I'll tell you, this question is actually based on a very typical logic there. The idea is that in 4 of the options, the given letters are consecutive. But in one option they are not consecutive. It may be in any order there. Now for example, if you look at D, E, C, B, these are all consecutive letters. B, C, D, E. The order is not important, understand. We are not looking at the order there. We are just seeing that B, C, D, E, these are all consecutive. B, C, D and E. Alright. Look at G, D, F, E. I think D, E, F, G. Listen, D, E, F, G. Consecutive. These are all consecutive letters in a random order, right? However, they are in a random order. So that logic of letters being consecutive is applicable for second option as well. Now look at third one, H, K, I, J. So if I start with H, H, I, J, K, right? H, I, J, K. So I find that these 4 are consecutive. And then look at fourth option, J, F, H, G. Let's start with, I think, G because G or F, because F is the first one if you go by the order. So F, G, H, I. Yes or no? F, G, H. It should have been I in place of J. So here you find that F, G, H are consecutive, but then J does not come next. It comes, it should be I. J comes after I. So these 4 letters are not consecutive even in a random order there, right? Whatever be the order, irrespective of the order, these 4 are not consecutive, whereas first 3 groups were consecutive letters. Let's verify the same for the last option as well. Q, S, P, R. I think P, Q, R, S. Yes, P, Q, R, S. So here the letters are consecutive if you try to put them in a right order. So the logic here is as follows. In option 1, 2, 3 and 4, if the letters are arranged in the alphabetical order, they are all consecutive, right? B, C, D, E. Alphabetical order. We are just trying to arrange them in alphabetical order. We find that they are consecutive. D, E, F, G. Consecutive, right? H, I, J, K. P, Q, R, S. So when we try to arrange them in alphabetical order, all of them come out to be consecutive letters. But option 4, J, F, H, G, does not make a consecutive set of letters there, even if it is arranged in alphabetical order. We get F, G, H, G. So we are skipping I there. Hence, this is the odd one. So this, as I said, is typical logic, not like what we have seen in most of the other examples based on the positions or their numerical position as per the English alphabet. So as we all can see here, example 5 has got a typical logic, unlike most of the remaining examples that we have discussed here, where the logic was based on the positions of these letters as per the English alphabet, right? So as we have understood earlier, that most of the questions from the classification of letters or group of letters are based on the positions as per the English alphabet, or the way the letters have been arranged, right? Except in a few cases like example 5 that we have seen here. So when it comes to the classification of letters or group of letters, keep in mind that mostly the logic is based on the positions, right? However, if you fail to get the answer in first 20-30 seconds, just skip and move to the next one. That's all from this topic of classification. See you in the next session. Thank you.